And why is it that we've seen such kind of racist attacks, anti-India hate attacks that have happened in Australia time and again? I want to bring in Jitarth Jay Bhardwaj. He's the founder and editor-in-chief of the Australia Today. He joins us on the broadcast. Jitarth, thank you for speaking to us. It is just shameful to what has happened with Gaurav Kundi. And just to imagine what the wife must have gone through at that time, because she kept pleading to the cops that it was their internal matter and he was not being violent in any which way, but the cops just charged on him. And even now, they continue to defend themselves. They say that he resisted their force and that is why they had to resort to an action like this.
See, I can tell you that it's a very unfortunate incident. Yes, the way police officers have handled it, it should have been handled better way. But definitely, I would like to say that it doesn't seem to be a racist motivated incident by the South Australia police. The police was there on patrol. We have to understand the sequences here. Police was there, the police car was patrolling the streets of Adelaide City, and they found a man and a woman on the street, and the man shoving and pushing the women. So they intervened and tried to talk to this gentleman without any aspirations that he was an Indian Australian or something. They tried to help the woman. Domestic violence is an issue in Australia. We lose almost one woman every week in Australia for two domestic violence incidents. So the police in right manner intervened. However, after that what happened cannot be justified in any which way. So when they arrested him, this gentleman, as per the wife's statement, which she has told us, that he was drunk and he had some precondition, could be any mental health issues or other issues which he was having. So he registered his arrest, tried to explain that this is my matter or whatever he did. And as we see in the footage, his head was banged into the van, police van, and then he was put down on the floor the way he was, which in my opinion was excessive. A police should have taken care of, and the way the knee was put on his neck, that was ultimately not acceptable, at least in Australian police manuals.
But Jitarth, I have 2 points here. Firstly, in this particular case, the wife kept on urging to the cops that she was not in trouble. Even when they tried to separate him from her, she kept on saying that they should not come on so harshly on him. After that, when he pressed his knee against his neck, against Gaurav's neck, the wife kept saying, please take him to the hospital. But that was ignored. Okay. And secondly, there have been incidents where Indians have been targeted in Australia. Even when the George Floyd case had happened, the world has seen the kind of movement that had taken place and how there were so many questions about the police using excessive force, especially when it comes to an individual from another nationality. How was the police not exercising restraint?
Okay, let me answer both the questions. Let's take the first one first. Yes, there is a kind of understanding that the violence of men against women is an issue, and they coerce females, their partners in most of the cases, so that even though the females, women have been beaten in domestic violence situation, they kind of favor the partners when police arrive and say, though nothing has happened, he's all right, please leave him alone. And that's how I see this case also. When the women was pleading to the police that leave him alone, it's none of his fault, that's how, if I can give you some perspective, that's how police would have seen it. Now, come to the second point. The Premier of the South Australia came in support of police department. The commissioner 2 days back on Saturday said that he has full faith in his police force officers and all that stuff. However, let's fast forward it to Monday, when the new footage came into light, then the same police commissioner has initiated a inquiry, internal inquiry, that what has happened, and he told the media that the earlier version of his understanding was based on the body cameras which he has seen, and nothing untoward was seen in those cameras. However, when we see a bird's eye view from the outside camera which was shot by the lady, then we can simply see that police action was aggressive. Inquiry will be held, and I can tell you, Indian Australian community in South Australia is really angry about it, and they are planning a protest there. I have talked to a number of community leaders. They have told that they have made a group to kind of help this lady and take this matter further on, so that this kind of incident doesn't happen. The second question which you asked me was a number of previous incidences which have happened in Celia. I can tell you, all of them have been covered by the Celia today. However, except for two of them, no other case was racially motivated. They were thugs who had, these people were at the wrong time, at the wrong place, and they were a victim of crime on the street. However, yeah, I will not say that racially motivated actions doesn't happen in Australia. They do happen. How there are system here, and action hard, really difficult, stupid people are there. We have to save ourselves from them. But the action is taken. Police and authorities do act against them. It's not that if Indian Australians are left high and dry. That is not the case, I can assure you. But in this case, we all were very surprised that Premier came in support of the police officer. Probably has to bite his own words now after seeing this footage which has come up.
But this is exactly my point. Even if this particular incident wasn't racially motivated, how can excessive force by the cops possibly be justified? In this particular case, his wife is speaking for the husband. So it's not like she was at the receiving end. And also, given the fact that action needs to be taken against the cops, because I read some reports that also say that the man's life is in danger. Some doctors have also said that there is a possibility that his brain injuries he may not recover. He has 2 children. He may not get normal.
He is in critical condition. That's what we have been told. And yes, the situation is not very good for this family. I mean, they are going through a lot. That's what we understand right now. And as far as the action is concerned, I can assure you, there have been a number of cases where police excessive force has been used, and strict action has been taken. In one of the cases, police officer has gone to jail. So if the inquiry finds out that police access force was not justified, then I can assure you there'll be really hard action on him. But right now, on Indian Australian community's behalf, they are reeling, they are angry, they are upset, and they want support for this family. That's what they are trying to. Right now it's 10 o'clock in the night. I can tell you, just half an hour back also, there were a number of people who have gathered close to where the incident has happened, and they're working out strategies to find out some sort of solution, if we can call it.
All right, Jitarth, I want to thank you for speaking to us. Of course, we are hoping for stronger action from the Australian authorities, from the Australian police, and not mere words, because this aggression by the cops against what has happened to Gaurav Kundi cannot be justified. I want to thank you.